All right, so family, I just want to share my thoughts and just kind of go even more in depth with the Bill Cosby verdict, and just kind of break this down as to my opinion on what's happening with Bill Cosby, and also a perspective on Hollywood and how Hollywood is one huge ring of a covenant. It's a sick and disgusting covenant, in where you have to, in order, especially if you're black, if you're classified as black, you have to do one or two things. And I've talked about this before. Either align yourself with the dominant white society, or be whiteballed from the dominant white society. And if you're whiteballed, you have to do a third option, which would be to persevere from a grassroots level in the entertainment Hollywood industry. From a grassroots level. And of course, that's a very low percentage of black people doing that. Right? So, yeah, so I kind of, like I said, I want to kind of go more in depth of what's my perspective, what's happening with Bill Cosby. Number one, Bill Cosby is 80 years old. All right. And this man has been targeted for older than me. I mean, he's allegedly had these encounters with these women dating back 30, 40 years ago, older than myself. All right. And these accusers, right, are still going after him. You saw it with, the verdict. And the fact that they had this, the celebrity prosecutor, Gloria Allred, as the lawyer. She's pushing 80 herself. She's what, 76, 77? Really? I mean, hey, that's what it is. This is what happens. Like I said in my last video when I was picking up my kids earlier today. This is all a money grab. But Bill Cosby is a soft target. You see, this is what happens when you align yourself with the dominant white society. These so-called accusers of Bill Cosby, they're ganging up to take down Bill Cosby, who is a soft target. Let's be honest. He's 80 years old. He's non-threatening. He's 80 years old. He's non-threatening. The stories the encounters that Bill Cosby had with these women, he would utilize his star power, his charm, and he would allegedly drug them, allegedly, right? And he would coerce himself on these women, allegedly. But there's a lot of conflicting stories. Also, these women say that they've met Bill Cosby on several occasions, right? That does not sound like somebody's been raped. That sounds like it was consensual, right? If you met somebody on several occasions, that sounds like it's consensual. All right. But again, Bill Cosby is 80 years old. He is a soft, non-threatening target. They're utilizing him to set an example for black people. They've always been setting an example for black people, but they're utilizing Bill Cosby specifically because he is Bill Cosby and his net worth is $400 million. And the fact that these so-called accusers want every penny this man has. It's just that simple. Like I said before, billionaires are never rape victims. Billionaires are only the suspects. Billionaires use their power, use their money, use their influence to coerce women to do things. Right? Like I said, billionaires aren't getting raped. They're not. It's reverse. Billionaires, they are the rapist, not the rapee. So Bill Cosby is the so-called rapist who preys on allegedly women, right? Who are, if you read some of these accusers, back in the day, they were aspiring actresses, aspiring models, and trying to get into the industry, just trying to get a regular 9 to 5. These were up and coming women trying to make their mark in society. While Bill Cosby already made his mark, he was already well established. He was already well off. So he utilizes, again, allegedly, utilizes his star power, his influence, you know, his economical influence to coerce these women into doing certain things. Allegedly, right? And so, again, these women know this. They know that this man, Bill Cosby, has money. Bill Cosby's not some just broke random dude on the street. And I saw a news clip the other day in Miami. Some guy in Little Haiti in Miami was basically forcing himself on random women in Little Haiti. And they got some footage of this man in on surveillance camera. And so I believe he's still on the run. They say he was armed. But my point is that this is some regular, no name, broke dude who is trying to force himself on women. So eventually, hopefully this guy gets caught and gets sent to jail. These women want to seek justice and make sure that guy goes in jail. They're not after his money because this guy's broke. They know he has no money. Right? That's my point. So, you know, a person that was a victim of this serial rapist who's trying to rape women in Little Haiti, they're not going after him past justice. They're not going after him seeking monetary gain as well. They know he's broke. He has no money. So with these women, these so-called accusers of Bill Cosby, they know Bill Cosby has a net worth of $400 million. They know Bill Cosby is black and 80 years old. They know he's non-threatening. They know he's a soft target, which is why they have to make an example. Make this a legalized lynching. A legal lynching of Bill Cosby. That's what they want to do. And it's working so far. And it most more than likely will work because we live in a system of racism, white supremacy. And I know some of the naysayers listening are, oh, well, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about because some of the accusers are black. No shit, they're black. They're following the allegiance of white supremacy. You know what we call that? We call that being compromised. We call that doing any and everything to get financial gain. That includes compromising your integrity and compromising your blackness. And you can say, yeah, well, Bill Cosby, you know, he alienated himself from black society, which is true. He did. He's basically on the island, right? He's basically on an island. But these are the facts. Like I said before, Bill Cosby's 80 years old. So by trying to prosecute this man and place him in jail, they're basically just expediting his death. They know that he's 80 years old, and they know that all of this stress that Bill Cosby is going through is going to expedite his death. Now, I don't wish death on anybody, but I would not be surprised that a year or two later, or even less, that we will be talking about R.I.P. Bill Cosby. I would not be surprised with the stuff that they're putting this man through right now. 80 years old. They are just expediting his death exponentially, like in light year speed. They want this man to die of natural causes within a year. That's what they're trying to do. And get the money. Get that money. You know, that's what they're trying to do. Right? That's my hindsight on that. That's my insight on that, right? And don't let this fool you. Because Bill Cosby is a small, very minute problem in the Hollywood / entertainment industry. There's a bigger problem. And a guy like this, Corey Feldman, right? Corey Feldman. And, you know, he's been in Hollywood for decades, since the 80s. Okay? This is a man that is a victim of child molestation, right? Witnessed child molestation among his peers, and still knows the perpetrators of the people that he saw, and him being a victim to these animals, these pedophiles in Hollywood. He knows this. He knows his information. There's a reason why they wanted this man dead. All right? They wanted this man dead because he has so much information that he can leak out. And is trying to, you know, make a documentary and expose Hollywood with the pedophile ring. That this can damn near break Hollywood and expose these pedophiles out here. Right? And it's nothing new. This has been going on for decades. And I'm pretty sure that Corey Feldman, he knows a lot of people in Hollywood, but I'm pretty sure there's more that he's not aware of that are still doing this to the very exact day right now without Corey Feldman's knowledge. And they're getting away with it because of their power, money, and influence. And it's been like that since the inception of the entertainment industry. Right? And like I said, you know, Bill Cosby is a small, very minute problem on a bigger scale when it comes to pedophilia in Hollywood. And again, there's a reason why they want this man dead. There's a reason why his documentary, look at this. He only raised $273,000. This is a white Hollywood actor who is basically whiteballed from the industry. He's whiteballed from the industry. He can't even get... He's trying to raise $1 million to produce and release this documentary to expose the Hollywood pedophile ring. And he's only at $273,000. Now, had this been, let's just keep it real. If this Corey Feldman was a white woman, if Corey Feldman was a white woman, right, who was molested as a child, Corey would have that documentary overnight. He wouldn't even have to do a crowdfunding campaign. He just can, you know, Corey would just come out and do an interview and say, hey, I already got my money. I'm ready to release and expose Hollywood. And that would shift Hollywood forever. Right? But again, you know, there's some reason why they try to kill this man. And I wouldn't, and again, I don't wish death on anybody, but I would not be surprised if something happens to Corey Feldman. Let's say he does get the money eventually to release the documentary and something mysteriously happens, a mysterious death of Corey Feldman. I would not be surprised. You know, Hollywood does not want to be exposed in that way. There's too much power and too much corruption in Hollywood right now for this information that he knows to come out is deadly. It's deadly. And there's so many other people in the industry that are not speaking, that knows information. Man, it is deadly. Right? It's deadly. All right. So, again, with these Bill Cosby accusers who are making examples of Bill Cosby and using Bill Cosby because he's a soft target, they're not using that same energy to expose the Hollywood pedophile ring. They're not using that same energy to expose the Harvey Weinsteins of the world, the Woody Allens of the world. Right? They're not using their influence to further, go down the Hollywood sexual predator and pedophile ring like these people right here. They don't have that same energy when it comes to these white male right here. These mostly white male men right here. They're not doing that. And there's a reason why. Because again, Bill Cosby is a soft target. He's a soft and easy target. He's 80 years old, worth $400 million, non-threatening, and they're trying to expedite his death. If you try to expose one of these men in Hollywood, that opens up Pandora box of an endless amount of deviant behavior, pedophiles, sexual misconduct, rape, everything you could think of. It will open up Pandora's box in Hollywood that's pretty much never ending. And that will shapeshift Hollywood forever. Right? And they don't want that. It's just too much at stake. Let's not talk about the D word. And I'm talking about Disney. Let's not talk about that. There's a hush hush right there when it comes to Disney and what's happening in that industry and in that organization. Let's not talk about Disney. That's, man, again, there's so much information out there that can end or completely shapeshift Hollywood in regards to sexual predators and pedophiles and, all of that under the sun. There's so much information out there that is not being shared, that is not being talked about in society today. And there's a reason for that. Because the power structure of white supremacy, the power structure of the elites in Hollywood have a covenant to protect that information. It's just that simple. That's the reason why they're using Bill Cosby as an example. It's a scare tactic, really, but it's a smoke and mirror scare tactic. It's to say, hey, we got Bill Cosby for over 50 years of his so-called, rape allegations. We got him now. We got him. That means people like him are going to be brought to justice. Right? And I wouldn't be surprised that these women who are accusing Bill Cosby of sexual misconduct and rape and all that stuff, either they have already done it or are planning on doing, but they're going to come out with a tell-all book about Bill Cosby. And they will disguise that as empowering women to come out and to claim they are victims of sexual harassment, misconduct, when it's just a cloak and dagger of a money scheme, a money grab, and attaches Bill Cosby's name. That's all it is. That's all it is. So don't be fooled by that. Don't be fooled by that. Again, this is too much at stake for people like Corey Feldman to come out and expose the Hollywood sexual predator and pedophile ring. It's just too much at stake for that actually to come out. They will not allow this man to come out with this documentary. There's a reason why he's not even nowhere near $1 million. And if he does, again, I don't wish death on anybody, but I would not be surprised if something happens to him and that documentary is never released. Never released. I would not be surprised. Would not be surprised. All right, family. So anyway, those are my thoughts about, I just wanted to break down my thoughts about Bill Cosby and how that is a very small, minute problem compared to information that people like Corey Feldman know and other people who aren't even speaking about it in public know, because that will open up an endless Pandora's box of information to expose Hollywood and its covenant, of sexual deviance, pedophilia, molestation. It's you name it. Rituals, initiations, all kinds of things. Courting, all kinds of things that's happening in Hollywood. And a lot of people will be exposed, and Hollywood will be shape shifted if a documentary like Corey Feldman, or information that Corey Feldman knows, was released to the public. It would be pretty much almost devastating for that to happen. But again, if this guy was white, if he was a white woman, his stuff would have been released in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. All right. So anyway, family, those are my thoughts about this, about Bill Cosby and people like Corey Feldman in Hollywood with the disgusting pedophile ring and sexual deviancy and misconduct. Those are my thoughts on that, family. All right. Until next time, all my social media contacts are down below in the description. If you made it this far, listening to myself on my YouTube channel, if you're new, please subscribe. And also all my social media contacts are down below in the description. Everything is GMOGMediaTV. Everything is all the same now. Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff, family. All right. Until next time, Chauncey, a.k.a. the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.